Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. I am so sorry. Somehow I lost your name. I don't, I don't, because I think I picked three of you and I did the other two, and then totally forgot till you sent me a message the other day, and I thought, oh no, what the heck? It's hell to get old and forgetful. So I deeply apologize for that. I am so sorry. Got lost in the shuffle, I guess. I turned the page on my book or something for some reason and just forgot you were still there. I'm sorry. Anyway, we're going to talk to Grandma. And I like to explain real quick. I see, hear, feel, sense, know. They talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. So I try to describe the picture the best way I can. They never waste a message. They don't waste their energy. There's always a reason for what they show or say. So if it doesn't make any sense now, just keep it in mind, and you'll either see it later, remember it later, or somebody else can validate it for you. And then somebody will go, oh, I know what she's talking about. And this is not an exact science. We communicate the best way we can. So you might have to think outside the box a little bit because they don't give me all the details because the details are none of my business. They'll give me enough so you should be able to understand what they're talking about. Grandma's coming in. She's coming in. The picture that you sent me, she's coming in much older. Much older. But she's coming in with this sweet, gentle, kind of mellow. It's like love is just oozing out of her energy. That's the kind of energy she's coming in with. She's talking about sheep. Sheep, like look, like four-legged sheep. I don't think you guys have any sheep. She's talking about baking bread, baking pies. I believe she's talking about herself. So she'll give me a little bit to validate for sure that it's her. At least hopefully she will. And the rest of it will be a message from her. She's also showing me that she used to knit or crochet or something that she would do. You know, it could be art projects. I don't want to stretch it out there. I don't want to make it too vague, but it's like she's doing something with her hands. So it's not like she's got stuff spread out in front of her, but she's doing something. She says you are a chip off the old block. I couldn't be prouder of you. She says, chip off the old block. You have the same energy, like I just described her coming in as. You have that same energy. You have that total love for the family, total mother hen type energy. She said there's not a hateful bone in your body. And she makes me want to cry. She is so proud of that, and she's so proud that she passed that on. And she says you'll pass that on too, because people feel that and see that around you. It's just that she's talking about both of you. It's just that soft, mellow, can I help you attitude. And she says, "Where's George?" Now, I will say, I can hear them, but we stink at names. I don't know why we stink at names. So it'd be a male with a GE name. Don't know if it would almost have to be somebody here because she would know if he was up there. But she says you've seen her. You've seen, show it to me again. You've seen like the wisp of a person. Usually we see it in our peripheral vision. You know, you might be sitting there looking at the TV and you think you see somebody walking by. Out of the corner of your eye, don't know why it works that way. Even I see them, I can see them head on, but when they do it to me and I turn my head, I still can't see them. So that's just, but she's showing me like transparent. I know that sounds like it might get a little creepy for you, but it's really nothing to be scared of because it's grandma. Like you looked up and you saw like a transparent, and she's showing a long flowing dress, like when she was younger, probably. And like the dress was kind of flowing, so it it might have scared you. I mean, it might have looked like, oh, it's a ghost. But she's showing herself much younger and very pretty in this long flowing dress, and but she, like I said, she's transparent, so it takes a lot. Evidently, it takes a lot for them to show themselves. I mean, I can see them, but we have a different communication. So it must take a lot of their energy to do that. So they don't pull themselves. How am I describing? I'm not describing this very well. I have seen one totally materialize in front of my eyes, like start from the transparent and turn into a real person. It's my mother-in-law, and she hates me. And I said, "Get out of my house. Get out. You're not here to be nice to me. Get out of my house." So if you see that again, or if you haven't seen it, you will see it. And it's usually like when you're watching TV or something, your mind's kind of numb, you know, you're just kind of spacing out. So she said she does. She whisks through there every so often. And she's talking about the smell of fresh baked bread. Fresh baked bread. So you'll get a whiff of that, and sometimes it's just a little whiff that goes under your nose. Or you can be in your car, you can be outside, you can be, one time for like 2 weeks, I woke up every morning and smelled chocolate chip cookies. I never figured out who it was. So when you get that wisp of that fresh baked bread, know that that's her, and she's showing putting jam on it. Did she used to make that for you? And pies. She's talking about a peach pie, and she's pulling it out of the oven. So there's another smell. So she'll probably, I'm sure she's not going to use the knocking or stuff. And I asked them, don't go to their houses and make all the scary noises where they think it's haunted. She says there's a party at your house. You have several of them at your house. Grandpa's there too. Do you have an uncle or somebody that felt like an uncle? And I always tell people, like, the lady next door can feel more like your grandmother than your real grandmother that lives across the country, or uncle, or that feeling, that relationship feeling. So it doesn't have to be a blood uncle. He says he took you under his wing when you were little. Well, who else is at your house? They just, they like the energy at your house. I mean, they seriously like hanging out there. So you're going to get the smell also of I think it's going to be pipe tobacco. That's going to be one of those males. I see the name Charles, so since we stink at names, I don't know why they throw names at me, but anyway, it's a male with a CCH name. Not sure which male that is. There's more. There's good grief, I would not sage your house because these are good people. When I go to people's houses and I go to cleanse, they go, "Oh, I've got stuff in my house, you know." And I go over there and I go, "This one girl, she had tons, 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 tons." So we got rid of all them because they were kind of annoying. But there was 4 grandparents, and we left the 4 grandparents. We told them they did not have to leave. Please stay. So ask Grandma to stay because she's a very loving energy and she's very good for you. Um, she says you feel her presence, and she's showing me like she's behind me right now. So she says you feel like you feel somebody behind you. Sometimes it's her. She and I was gonna say we left those 4 grandparents, and I said, were any of these grandparents an asshole? Because if they were, you might want to ask them to leave too. You know, if you think they might bring grouchy energy, it seriously works that way. I promise you, 1,000%, she can hear you and she can see you. So can Grandpa. So can the uncle. There's another female there too. She has the same kind of energy though. You have a party. I think there's even more behind them. It's like they don't. All right, well, show me. No, show me. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm trying to get them to show me like where they're at. Like if they're in a certain room, they probably don't stay in one room. It's not like they have to. Well, she's showing mainly what looks like living room, dining room. And I'm surprised she's not in the kitchen, but it's kind of like they all go together. If they're going to move, they're all hanging together. So, wow, I need that in my house. I tell them they're not welcome here except for a couple of them, unless they tell me who they are. But yeah, and they're great protectors too, because they're not going to let anybody with any grouchy energy in there, because that would totally not fall into what they like. And I know Maria has dogs. I don't know if you have a dog, but watch the dogs. Small children and dogs and cats. I'm not sure about all animals, but I know dogs and cats. They see them, they hear them. Little kids play with them. Their imaginary friend that they talk about. Grandma says Maria had an imaginary friend when she was younger. So anyway, watch the dogs. You know, if the dog kind of looks up and staring off into space and it's laying there and it starts wagging its tail, it's one of them. Um, Grandpa's showing that he pets. I know she's got the big dog, or a couple of them. I'm also being shown Bryce down there petting the goats. Now he's not showing that he goes up to the house or anything, but he's down there petting the goats. I don't know if he used to go out there and do that. I know you guys spend a lot of time with him, helping him. He doesn't pop in on very hardly any of my readings. He's my little buddy. Ed and I are good friends. And Bryce has just shown himself down there, but he's waving. It's like he's at a distance because I'm assuming the goats aren't up there anyway, but he's waving. He's blowing you a kiss and he says, "I love you, my friend." Thank you for what you did for my dad. He needed you. And there we go back to that mother hen energy. Don't make me cry. So let's move on to something else before I start crying. Darn it. Sorry. Should have wore a better top. So know that Grandma hangs out with Maria quite a bit. And it's okay, she's showing me like okay, the picture she's showing me is like Maria sitting at a table and it looks like she's writing or something. Or does she do art? It looks more like she might be drawing a really pretty picture or something. I don't know if she's artistic. And Grandma's standing behind her shoulder. I think Maria knows she's there. I've not had a chance to talk to her about it. It's like she's showing me Maria doing this, and then Maria kind of looks up like Grandma's standing kind of back here. This is the picture she's showing. Maria kind of looks at her out of the corner of her eye, like maybe not really seeing her, but kind of sensing her, but not the least bit scared of her because the energy she puts off is just so awesome. She can hang out at my house. Okay, then it was. So I'm not sure whose house she was in just now, but she went down some steps and then she goes outside and she holds her arms out like this, like outside in the fresh air, and just breathing it and talking about how beautiful it is, how wonderful it feels there. And she turns around and goes back in the door. So I'm not sure what that was for. Did she used to live there? Know that all of you are in good hands. You're in God's hands, but you're also in our hands. And your purpose in this world was to spread this love around to try to counteract some of the horrible hate. Know that you've done your job well. I'm not sure this is coming from her. This feels more like higher up, like one of your guides or angels. Know that you get an A+. And that's why you've been blessed in this life. Where I'll go. Oh, they're quiet. Hang on. Okay, there's a sign on your wall. It's not a, she's not showing me a picture, but it's like maybe it's a saying somebody put on a barn board, or somebody painted, or she's just saying sign. It's a sign. It's not a picture. That she said it's homemade. Maybe not by you, but homemade. And every so often it vibrates. It rattles. I don't, darn it, sorry. Don't know if you actually hear it rattling, but it does it, and it keeps getting crooked. It keeps getting crooked. So if it hasn't, if there's not one on your wall that you have to keep straightening up every so often, and you wonder why it's doing that, it will. Any of these signs, when you get the smells or anything, make sure you validate her. Tell her you love her. Tell her you know that's her, and you love her, and thank her. And if you want her to do, bring you more, ask her to. She says you're safe. And you're blessed beyond even what you have comprehended. You've earned your gold stars. You deserve everything you've gotten. Now pass it on. Teach somebody how to pass it on. This reading's a little different than most of my readings. Everything's going to be okay. Okay, they're kind of congregating, and they're kind of moving back, all of them. So know that they're there, and there's some others, and they may not stay there all the time. I mean, and you're not keeping them here. Some people believe that you keep them here by talking to them or whatever. No, you don't. They can go wherever they want. You can't tie a rope on them and anchor them here. It doesn't work that way. So know that you've got plenty of them. They may not be around all the time. They may go do other things. I haven't been allowed to see a lot past. I have been taken to see a little bit. So I know that they can go where they want. So anyway, they're pulling back. You can always, darn it, you can always, if there was one there that felt like maybe you got kind of a chill, like, ooh, like an ugly chill, like maybe something was passing through, you can always tell them, I don't want you here. But I don't feel anything bad at all. Not at all. Nothing but good. So, unless it really creeps you out that they're in your house, I'd leave them there. As a matter of fact, I would tell them, you are welcome to stay. And it helps to let them know. It does. I love you and I want you to stay. And like I said, you're not keeping them from anything. So, okay, they're all waiting. They're leaving. They're not leaving your house. They're just leaving this. So you'll have to let me know if I felt like one of them was going to say something. They're saying Maria, Maria. So they're hanging pretty close to her. I think she knows it. I think she has an idea. It's all good. One of them said it's all good. All right. They're pulling back. Much love to you, my dear. I am so sorry it took so long. I am so sorry I kind of lost you in the shuffle. So hope to see you sometime. Well, I guess not right now. We're all kind of confined a little bit. Hopefully not going to be confined more than we are now. Anyway, Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator. Much love to you, my dear, and voice for your loved ones.